Found Mas Miski.
Bound for Kawagoe will soon arrive on track number. この電車は4つドア10両です。
Please stand behind the yellow line.
Making my intern push the luggage. Unpaid intern. Oh, the sun is quite bright. But Tokyo Big Sight is there. We need to orientate ourselves. This space is too big.
Entrance is... Oh, yeah, here.
We need to go to E204. 204. Eh? Yeah. Come on, yeah. I'm done setting up. But I guess which idiot forget her price tags. I have to handwrite everything. Then I have to hand draw this last minute. Oh my god. It's not even straight. Come in lah. There's a lot of people there.
또는 난관 4층의 5 에리어 근처에 있습니다. 또한 이산식 이외에 셔터나 이상도를 사용하는 것은
Hi everyone, so when I was editing this video, I was thinking about how I wanted to give my review for the event, and I decided that I will just do a voiceover over some of the clips that I've taken for the rest of my trip in Japan. So if you're an artist who is interested in vending at this event, you can listen to my review. If not, you can just take a look at what I did while I was in Japan. We went to Hiroshima after the event, and I also visited the Onigiri shrine in Tokyo. So I hope that's interesting for you. So moving on to the review, I will break it down into pros and cons, my observations and learning points, and then lastly my verdict of the event. So starting with the first pro, I would say that the rental is relatively cheap. It is a 2 days event and I got a S-size booth and I paid about 32,000 yen in total. I will put up a breakdown on the screen somewhere because when you pay for the booth, you are only paying for the floor space and you have to rent the table and chair separately. So 32,000 yen is like the total of the floor plus the table plus the chair. I would say that the prices are quite similar to booths in Singapore, if not cheaper considering how booth prices are increasing in Singapore. Design Festa is also a very big event with more than 6,000 booths and a high number of attendees, but then how much of these people are walking in front of your booth is something to consider. Another pro would be that even though Japan is moving towards mobile and card payment, they still carry cash. So payment methods was not an issue for me. I have not encountered any customer asking to pay with mobile or card, and this is important because accepting card payments overseas could be troublesome or it could be expensive because of all the conversion fee or the service fee that you have to pay, and I'm lucky that I did not face any of these issues there. Lastly, I think language barrier is not really an issue for basic transaction in Japan. I don't really recall any issues, and they do speak some English and they are willing to speak English to help you understand what they are trying to say. But with that being said, since you are going to a foreign country, you should try to learn a bit of the simple phrases like thank you or hello to at least be able to reply them. So that's all for the pros, and then we move on to the cons. Even though Design Festa is a big event, there are many different categories and high number of booths in each categories. So there is high competition and low traffic as there is way too many things for attendees to cover. I think it's literally impossible for them to cover everything in one day. And since there is many different categories, there is a wide variety of booths and events happening. So I feel like the attendees there have very varied interests. Not all of them are there for illustration booths, and they are not inclined to spend unless it's really something that is calling out to them. So I got the S-size booth, and I feel that the S-size booth space, the floor space, is pretty small. It is 1.8 meter length by 0.9 meter width, and they really stick to that measurement. So if you rent a table with 0.6 meter width, which is a common width for booth tables in Singapore, there is actually not much space behind the table for you to move around because you only have 30 cm. I mean, I managed to survive, but if I were to do it again, I would have gotten a 0.45 meter width table so that I have a bit more breathing space and not constantly knock into my neighbors behind me. The next few cons are kind of not a big deal, but it's something to think about. So the exhibition hall is quite far away from the nearest train station, so you will have to drag your luggages from the station to the hall on the first day and back on the second day. It's a long walk, it could be tiring. And if you want food, you will need to walk quite far out also, because right outside Big Sight, which is the exhibition place, there is only convenience stores and cafes. So if you want to eat a proper meal, you will have to go further. But if you're okay with just an onigiri or some sandwich, I think it's fine. But then on the second day morning, when we were trying to get food at the convenience store, there was a very long queue because every other exhibitor there is trying to get their food as well. So I would suggest buying your food elsewhere, near your hotel maybe, before heading to the exhibition hall. And for Big Sight, which is where the exhibition hall is in, this place is in Odaiba, and if you're not staying near Big Sight, taking public transport to Big Sight from main parts of Tokyo like Shinjuku or Ikebukuro will cost you around $5 per way, which is quite expensive in my opinion, because in Singapore I will also take public transport as much as possible to my booth venues, and it is around $150 per way. And all these will add up because you need to take the transport twice a day. And if you also have a helper coming with you to help you at the booth, then it is double of that cost. So total for me, it was around $40 for 2 days of transport for me and my husband. But again, this is not a big issue. It is just something that I did not expect. So some observations I have for this event is that I feel like the attendees there seem to be more interested in handicrafts and more unique items as compared to stationaries. So for example, if you are selling paintings and each piece is unique, then I think it would sell really well. Or if you crochet and the items you crochet are like quirky or useful, then I think it will work really well too. In Singapore, keychains are one of my best sellers, so I was quite surprised that my keychains did not sell well at all in Japan. I think I only sold 2 keychains, and both were to customers that were foreigners in Japan. Like, they did not live in Japan, they were just here for exchange or they were here for a trip. And lastly, I think this is a common observation across events, is that they really like to collect name cards. But the special thing here is that they don't even spare a glance at my booth. They just went straight for my name card and moved on. So I was a bit taken aback by that. Moving on to the verdict, I feel like this event is a really good entry-level event if you want to explore boothing overseas for the first time, because the booth rental is really affordable in this economy and you won't really face challenging issues in running the booth itself. For me, this was my first overseas booth and overall it was a good experience. But would I go again? For now, my answer is no, unless I change my range of products, because I feel like the attendees there are not really my target audience at this point of time. So going once was enough of an experience for me. I would like to try going to different events in different countries before I come back again. With that being said, my belief is to try out the events you are interested in at least once if you can afford it, because you will only know if it is really a suitable event for you when you are there yourself, seeing how people react to your products. You know, maybe the people in Japan just don't really like seeing onigiri as a character, but they would love to see your character. So that was my review for Design Festa, and I hope that this was somewhat helpful or interesting for you. This is also the first video that I'm uploading on this channel, so I'm still trying to find the style and content that I want to put up. But thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye bye.
귀여워.